GAMER-0. I'm your host T Hill. Topic of tonight's episode. It's going to be an episode that I was really looking forward to. It's taken me a couple days to put it all together, but I hope you really enjoy it. It's GAMER-0's Game of the Year Awards. So, I broke this down into 10 categories for games that, genres and experiences that I enjoyed the most. Everyone's got their own variety. There are some that, are not my cup of tea, and I don't want to speak on them and rate down a game that really was the best or wasn't the best. I don't want to do that because it's not my cup of tea, so I'm going to stick to what I know and what are my favorites. So let's get into the top 10 categories, and first one is going to be best soundtrack for a game in 2010. That's easy. It's easy for me. If you watch my videos, you know which one I thought was on fire, and that's got to be Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. You can see it in the background playing. I love that game, and I could not tell you how many times I played through levels over again because I love the soundtrack. It was just really, really fun, peppy, and you don't have that kind of experiences in games nowadays. I mean, there's very few that are really that enjoyable soundtrack to listen to. So, 2010. Best soundtrack, it's got to be Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Hope you enjoyed that joint. It was a great game. Next category, it's got to be best indie title for 2010, and that's, of course, it's got to be Shank. I love that joint. It really felt like they were bringing back those 2D side-scroller beat-em-ups to perfection and breathed so much more into that genre, to the level of combat that, for that game, that's up there with Devil May Cry. And trying to bring that kind of variety of combat to a game on that level was just unique. I never seen anything like that. And it felt like, you're playing in a cartoon. Like a Samurai Jack meets Kill Bill. It was awesome. I love that joint, and it was the best indie game for me for 2010. So, next title, most innovative game for 2010. That's got to go to, there was close runner-ups, but it was pretty easy to see which game was the most innovative, and that's Heavy Rain. It was one of and there was nothing like Heavy Rain ever before that. I mean, there's games where you got button prompts and the whole strong narrative, but nothing pulled it all together in a way that really set it apart from all other titles. It made an experience its own, and there was no games like that ever. So I had to give most innovative award to Heavy Rain. That game was just sick. So next one is most compelling story for 2010. This was an easy one. I mean, let's be real. Mass Effect 2 had the best story. I don't own a 360, but I had the privilege of watching my buddy play through part 1, and then when he went out and caught part 2, it was really simple to watch him play through it, and I was like, wow, every single thing really does carry over, and the character development and story is crafted based on your experiences from part 1, and it's such a great, rich, and immersive world that you really will enjoy every single part of the story. So, Mass Effect 2, shout outs to you because you really had the best story for 2010. So the next one on my list is best racer for 2010. This is an easy one. I played lots of different racers, but the one that's like head and shoulders above the rest. What else? Gran Turismo 5 came out late in the year. I've had a good 15 hours of play with it, and it really is graphically, quality, quantity, different modes. Gran Turismo 5 stands out above all the others easily. It's bologna and steak in comparison. So, if you guys are racers, go pick out Gran Turismo 5. You will enjoy the shit out of that game. It's an awesome title. Next genre or category for 2010 would be best sandbox for 2010. I played a lot of sandboxes in my life, and in a lot of sandboxes in my life, but easily, this was just easy to give it away. Red Dead Redemption. I've never been big into westerns, except for like, you know, I like Tombstone. That movie was on fire, and it really captured that world so well, that cowboy world, that I could feel like I was John Marston in this world, and I just loved every part of it. I'm still playing through it. There's so much to it. It's a really beautifully crafted sandbox world where you can do anything. I mean, hog tying people and then throwing them on the back of your horse or just dragging their ass behind you, fun as hell. I found myself just doing that a lot. But really enjoyable game and the best sandbox game for 2010 easily. So the next one on my list, next category, best third-person shooter. This is easy. That nothing in 2010 even stands up to it in this genre, and that's got to be Vanquish. Vanquish's speed, its combat, the slow motion, the variety of ways you can handle each scenario makes it the best for third-person shooters in 2010. Nothing is at its level. The story's great. Combat is phenomenal. If you haven't picked it up, it is longer than what people say. It's a great game. You will enjoy it. You'll get tons of fun out of it. Alright, next one on the list is best graphics for 2010. Come on, let's be real. Gotta be God of War 3. That joint was on fire. The graphics were... There's nothing in this league. Pores, you can see the facial animation, the muscles flexing. I mean, nothing. The scope, the feeling of God of War 3 graphically puts everything to shame. Every single game to shame. It is up here. Everything else is below. Don't even have a shot. I mean, there's other exclusives for the PS3. Mass Effect's great, but God of War 3, the level of detail and love put into the graphical polish is above everything else. So we're coming close to wrapping this up. Next one on the list is best action adventure, and you know that's my bread and butter. We're getting in that topic, and the best action adventure award would have to go to what else? Castlevania Lords of Shadow. The game was on fire. The combat was great. The story was great. The environments, there's so variety. There's so much scenery. It was easy for me to say the best action adventure game that I played for 2010 was Castlevania Lords of Shadow. I cannot recommend that enough. If you like hack and slash action adventure games, go pick that game out. It's one of the best you will ever play in your life. So, Game of the Year. We are on category number 10. And that's easy for me. It's like the game that I'm talking about was crafted just for me. If you watch my videos, you know what is my favorite game possibly of all time, and that's Darksiders. Love the art style. I love the combat. I love the pacing. I love the variety. The world that you are thrown into. The narrative. The way you are pushed forward. The art direction. The great color palette. Everything for this game screamed, I love you, T. Hill, and kept me coming back for more. And the game's a good 23 hours plus, depending on how much of level of involvement you want to get, how much you want to get out of the game. And everything was crafted perfectly. I mean, there was some little frame rate hiccups, but the game stood out amongst everything else. I hadn't played anything like that. Alright, so Game of the Year, Darksiders. I hope you enjoy it. If you haven't picked it up, go pick up that game. It is beautiful. You will enjoy every last minute of it. That's my games of the year. I hope you enjoyed what I had. Let me know what you liked and what you didn't like, what categories you'd like to see next year. I'm going to get more into some other categories so that way I can add that to 2011 Game of the Year's games. Hope you enjoyed, of course. Just want to give my shout outs to my man Hip Hop Gamer. Keep doing your thing. I really appreciate everything you do for me, everything you do for the industry. I hope you had a wonderful birthday, a wonderful turkey day, and God bless. Next shout out, Night Gen Hero. Gotta get better soon. Hope you're feeling good. Keep dropping those great vids. You know, we miss seeing where's your next vid? Come on, bro. And next one, I have to give this shout out. It's to Iconic Sniper. Iconic Snipers, I hope I'm saying it right. Just awesome person, is going to be putting together a custom background for this channel and for giving me a custom, avatar, a little icon. I can't say how much I appreciate this. Doing something like that really means a lot to me, and I have to give you the shout out. Keep doing your thing. I just really appreciate it. Well, that's it for this episode of Gamer-0. I hope you enjoyed my selection for games of 2010. And, you can always follow me on hiphopgamershow.com. If you want, you can follow me on Twitter. It's T_Hill0. Or you can always hit me up on PSN, T-Hill. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Gamer-0. I'm your host, T Hill. I'm out. Peace!